This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Go further with the American Express Business Gold Card. Earn 3 times membership rewards points on flights and prepaid hotels when you book through AmexTravel.com. Whether your destination is a business conference or a client meeting, your purchases will help you earn more points for future trips. Experience more on your travels with Amex Business Gold. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-gold. Amex Business Gold Card. Built for business by American Express.
Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the Dr. Sky Experience, proudly heard here on Talk Radio 77 WABC. As we like to call WABC, the crown jewel of radio. Heard in 173 countries in all 50 states, and as I like to say, beaming out of New York City, the nation, the world, and I'm sure, deep out into the cosmos. Welcome to our Dr. Sky update for early August 2025 skies, and what you should be able to see as we move through the deeper part of the dog days of summer. Incredible heat in the northern hemisphere, changes in the weather, lots of things to talk about, but hopefully you'll have this. A quiet place to sit, a moonless sky if you're looking for deep sky objects, and of course, the ability to sit back and listen to the Dr. Sky Experience here on Talk Radio 77 WABC. If you'd like to email me, I welcome that, because unfortunately there's not enough time when we're live on the air to answer so many of the questions with our popular guests. So my email is simply this. It's just DRSKY, Dr. Sky, at WABCradio.com. And we do appreciate all of you out there who are tuning in to our weekly podcast. And just a quick reminder, the Dr. Sky Experience hails proudly on this radio station Friday night midnight into 2 a.m. Saturday mornings, Eastern Daylight Time, and then a second round of the Dr. Sky Experience with great guests, of course, on Saturday evening, midnight, into 2 a.m. Sunday, Eastern Daylight Time. So now let's take a look at the August 2025 skies, and let's begin with the moon. The month of August opened up with a first quarter moon on the 1st. That moon, if you hadn't seen it, waxed and continues to move on through the beautiful full phase on the 9th of August, the full sturgeon moon. This particular moon, like many other full moons, has interesting names here in the North American continent, named in honor of many of the indigenous tribes that are so proud and should be of their great heritage as they look to the skies, and this month, naming that beautiful full moon after a great fish in the Great Lakes, known as the sturgeon. After the 9th, the moon continues to wane, as you know. It moves on to its last quarter on the 16th. That means it normally rises at midnight and is high up into the sky toward the south just around sunrise. And then the moon continues to shrink in its brilliance. We call that the waning moon, a waning crescent. Moving on to the next new moon. Why do we like the new moon? If you're a fan of looking at deep sky objects in binoculars like stars, clusters, and galaxies, pay attention to August 23rd, the period of time around a few days, plus or minus that date, for hopefully some of the darkest skies, if your weather cooperates. Then the moon continues to wax once again, a beautiful sight, as you look low into the western part of the sky as early as, let's say, the evening of the 24th. How early a thin crescent moon can you spot? Let us know by sending me an email or images at drsky@wabcradio.com. Just in case you're curious, the moon was closest to us, or will be, on the 14th. We call that perigee, and then apogee on the 29th. A big difference when you look at the size of the moon. But let me not discount the moon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great object to observe. In moderate-sized telescopes, you can see the vast craters and the shadows during first and last quarter moon and other phases, and also explore the great moraine or ancient sea lava beds on the surface of the moon. But let's talk planets, because there's something really interesting happening in early August 2025. If you're an early morning riser, here's a really interesting treat. On the morning of the 11th and the 12th, just before sunrise, and I would say probably about an hour before sunrise, maybe even earlier, look into the north-northeast sky. You're going to see a very close conjunction that is together, two planets together, Venus and the planet Jupiter. Remember, Venus, the goddess of love and beauty, exceptionally bright. Jupiter, the god of gods. But get a load of this. They'll be separated by almost less than a degree in the sky. And that makes for an early morning beautiful conjunction. Don't miss it. And at the time when they're closest, Venus will be about 114 million miles away. And if you were to travel on a light beam, it would only take you 10 minutes at light speed to get to Venus. But on the other hand, mighty Jupiter is about 555 million miles away from your eye. Yes, it's that big, and that's the reason it's so bright. That obviously would take you 50 minutes if you could travel on a beam of light. And remember, the speed of light, in the simplest way I can say it, is 670 million miles an hour. Tell that to your race car friends or fast motorcycle riders. Obviously, even jet aircraft and rocket speed pale by comparison to the speed of light, 670 million miles an hour. Now, how about this? Another spectacular event, at least on the astronomy timescale, is the appearance of the Perseid meteor shower. But before we get too excited about it, let me always speak truth here on this Dr. Sky archive. The particular shower of the Perseids is one of the most reliable meteor showers of all time. People plan some of their vacations around going to dark skies to look into the skies. Let's say they're on a family vacation or you're by yourself. Getting away from the city lights is a big must, but still, people have seen Perseids in brightly lit cities. So here's the scoop. Perseid meteor shower will be best on the evening of the 11th into the 12th, and then once again on the 13th into the 14th. But where do you look? After, say, around midnight, with clear skies. Unfortunately, we'll tell you what the big downer is this year, and that's the big full moon. But if you look, let's say around midnight, to the northeast sky, the rising constellation of Perseus, who, by the way, is that big hero who saves the legendary Andromeda from being eaten alive by the great sea monster Cetus, and you know what Perseus did. He didn't like a certain lady named Medusa, who if you looked at her, you would be turned to stone. And unbelievably, she had hair made of snakes, but that's another story from mythology. So Perseid meteors are really out there. They're interesting. It comes from a comet called Comet 109P, a comet called Swift-Tuttle. And just in case you want to know a little bit more about this particular comet, and I'm sure you do, in all time, it's probably one of the closest celestial objects that get near the Earth. What does that mean? It's not going to hit us anytime soon. But remember, cometary nuclei like this, the parent comet of all these meteor showers, and in this particular one, the Perseids, they stream out the back end like a car would have, debris coming out of its tailpipe, carbon monoxide. These tiny particles in the cometary orbit, the tail of the comet, are maybe the size of beach sand and maybe a little bit of like grains of little rocks and pebbles. They come and incinerate in the atmosphere. So the point is, the Perseid meteor shower is incredible. Its parent comet, 109P Swift-Tuttle, one day may get close enough to the Earth. Remember, comets in their size, maybe this is 20 miles in diameter, the nucleus. Who knows, maybe in the future, astronomers say it could unfortunately come Earthward, but nothing to worry about right now. So the beauty of the Perseids are these tiny little specks are, in a sense, incinerating. That's really not a good scientific term, but who cares? When you see them, I was just up at a mountain location in northern Arizona at 8,000 feet, and just sitting out there for a few hours, I saw a number of these Perseids that leave trails in the sky like contrails of jets, and they go very quickly. But the problem again is the full moon certainly will interfere, but not to totally cancel this out. The diehard observers of the Perseids, they tell me they don't care if there's two full moons in the sky, if that could be possible. Sit back with a lawn chair, your favorite adult beverage if that's necessary, and obviously enjoy the sky show. So northeast sky after midnight, the peak, to wrap that up, on the evening hours of the 11th into the 12th, and then on the third, you could actually look, maybe it's on the 12th into the 13th. Some of these meteors, and I get in trouble on this with the Dr. Sky Archive, is I tell people about the shower, and some write to me, some not necessarily nice emails. Okay, ouch, don't do that. They tell me that they didn't see any. And I said, well, where were you viewing? And some people said, well, I had a bright light in the backyard on, and you told me there'll be meteors. No, this is best for dark skies. And not to sound like we're conducting a class here, but hopefully the information I know you appreciate. It's one of the better meteor showers of the year, but we don't know. Some say upwards of 50 to 70 a year. In the early 90s, this particular meteor shower roared, and it had hundreds, maybe thousands of meteors an hour. Bottom line, the darker the sky, away from city lights, even with a full moon, you can certainly appreciate it. And just to mention something else too, we find out that the planet Mercury, which is one of the elusive objects, one of the planetary objects that may be difficult to see, it reaches its greatest westernmost elongation. What's that? That means it's easy to see before sunrise by the 19th, some 19 degrees ahead of the rising sun. So to wrap it up, you can see so many things in our August skies. Beautiful things, ladies and gentlemen, as we talk about astronomy, space, aviation, and weather. Wishing you the best for health and happiness as we move through the dog days of summer. And as we move toward the fall, lots of other good opportunities for you, the viewer, the listener. Most of all, thank you for listening to the Dr. Sky Experience. We're here on Talk Radio 77 WABC. Proud to be heard not only in the 173 countries, all 50 states, beaming out of New York City, the nation, and the world, but who knows? I'm sure the signal is out into the cosmos. Clear skies. We'll talk to you soon.
Greg Kelly here for Colonial Metals Group, China's leading the largest anti-American alliance since World War II, one that's already dumped U.S. bonds, grabbed 43 million acres of our farmland, and is plotting to dethrone the dollar. That's why IRA and 401k savers are protecting their savings with gold. Go to freegoldguide.com/Kelly or call 800-655-5186 for your free gold guide on how to protect your wealth with gold 100% tax-free.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.